AI art has been around for several decades, with its roots tracing back to the early experiments in the 1950s and 60s. Initially, it was a novelty, a proof of concept that machines could indeed create. Fast forward today, and AI art has not only advanced significantly, but has also permeated many aspects of our daily lives. From social media filters to personalized content recommendations, AI's creative capabilities are everywhere. But why does it often feel so off? How's it? And welcome back to yet another video. And in today's video we're going to be diving deeply into why AI art looks the way it does. From mangled hands to distorted faces, this is a deep dive into understanding why AI creates the way it does. So grab yourself a hot beverage or some Clippies and Coke and let's get straight into this video. The entity known as Loab. Now when I say Loab, I'm quite sure that many of you guys have a baseline idea of what it is. But if you don't, be prepared to get your mind blown. An entity discovered on the AI image generator, Stable Diffusion. Loab is not just any AI generated figure, she is a haunting presence that seems to be stuck within the algorithm itself. Now I'm sure many of you guys know the origin of Loab, but let's just delve a bit deeper into it. Loab was found by a mixed media artist known as Supercomposite, and the story of Loab went viral on a thread on X, formerly known as Twitter. Supercomposite says the following: I discovered this woman who I call Loab in April. The AI reproduced her more easily than most celebrities. Her presence is persistent, and she haunts every image she touches. Now the way that she found Loab was by using negative weight prompts. Now, by using negative prompts, instead of creating an image of the text prompt, the AI tries to make the image look as different as possible from the prompt. The logo that she searched for was Brando -1. And this is what she got. She then wondered what would be the opposite of Digita Pintix, and by searching that with the -1 prompt, she was greeted by this. Now I don't want to just dive deeply into Loab. I want to understand why the AI created Loab the way that she does. But before we do that, let's just have a look at some of the images going around of Loab. Intrigued by this phenomenon, I decided to try find Loab in other AI image generators, and the results were quite interesting. I couldn't find her outside of Stable Diffusion. However, what I did discover were unsettling similarities. Across different AI platforms, certain traits persisted: the distinct, almost lifeless eyes, the eerie atmosphere, and the haunting backgrounds. It seems that while Loab herself is unique to Stable Diffusion, the underlying eeriness is a common thread in AI generated art. And then you get Loab. I also wanted to try and understand if Loab was restricted to only image AI processors, so I asked ChatGPT to describe what Loab looked like. ChatGPT said the following: Loab, the AI generated entity, typically appears as a haunting, almost ghostly woman with distinctive features. Some common characteristics attributed to Loab include long, dark hair, often disheveled or hanging loosely, gaunt or skeletal face with hollow eyes and pronounced cheekbones, giving her a haunting and eerie appearance, pale or ashen skin, adding to the spectral and unsettling look, tattered or old-fashioned clothing, sometimes depicted in garments that appear outdated or worn, enhancing the ghostly vibe. Her appearance varies slightly depending on the AI generation methods and the specific images, but these features consistently contribute to her unsettling and disturbing presence. So ChatGPT knew more or less exactly what Loab was, and I wasn't very surprised because ChatGPT just gathers all the information from other users, and I'm sure Loab has been quite discussed on ChatGPT in the past. So this result didn't really surprise me, but it was interesting how accurately ChatGPT could also describe this entity that I believed was stuck in the machine of Stable Diffusion. The uncanny nature of AI art. To further understand why AI art is so eerie and uncanny, I conducted a few experiments of my own. I wanted to see how these algorithms interpret inherently disturbing concepts, so I typed in keywords like "what does hell look like?", "show me the most disturbing picture you can imagine", and "nightmare fuel". The results were, to say the least, unsettling. The images produced by these prompts were a mixture of grotesque and surreal, from twisted, almost human-like figures to nightmarish landscapes. These creations evoked a sense of dread and discomfort. But why do these images affect us so profoundly? The answer lies in how AI generates these images. These systems are trained on vast datasets that include millions of images from across the internet. When asked to create something disturbing, the AI pulls from an existing pool of visual data, blending elements that are often associated with fear, horror, and discomfort. Neural networks, the backbone of AI generators, function by recognizing patterns in data. They don't understand images the way humans do. Instead, they detect features and correlations that can be mathematically modeled. When tasked with creating disturbing art, these models combine elements that statistically align with the concept of disturbing based on their training of the data. Let's take a closer look at some of these examples. This image was generated with the prompt, "what does hell look like?" Notice the chaotic composition, dark color palette, and distorted figures. These elements are common in depictions of hell across various cultures and media, and the AI has synthesized these patterns into a single image. Interestingly, when using the same prompts on different AI softwares, the same motive consists. They often give us exactly the same or more or less the same idea than the original generated image. Despite being generated by different algorithms, they share common features like unsettling eyes, disfigured faces, and don't forget, distorted hands. I don't know why AI struggles so much understanding fingers. This suggests that the AI has its own unique style. They draw from similar underlying concepts that tap into our collective fears. The uncanny effect from AI art arises from its near but not perfect mimicry of human creativity. Our brains are wired to detect subtle deviations from the norm, especially in faces and figures. When an AI-generated image almost, but not quite, aligns with our expectation, it creates a cognitive dissonance that we experience as unease or fear. So what does this mean for the future of AI? Although AI can create something beautiful, haunting, disturbing, it still has its limitations, and that is why the human mind, this computer up here, is far better for pushing the limitations and boundaries of creativity. But just out of curiosity, let me just show you some of my favorite AI generated art that I created. The Aesthetic of Disturbance. To understand why Loab and similar AI-generated art are so disturbing, we need to explore the concept of the Uncanny Valley. Coined by roboticist Masahiro Mori in 1970, the Uncanny Valley refers to the drop in comfort levels that occurs when a robot or digital figure looks almost, but not quite, human. As these figures approach human likeness, our emotional response shifts from empathy to repulsion. The graph of the Uncanny Valley shows a sharp dip where entities are almost human-like. This dip represents the discomfort level we feel when an entity is close to human but has subtle deviations that make it unsettling. The Uncanny Valley effect is not limited to Loab. Many AI-generated artworks and digital characters fall into this unsettling territory, whether it's almost pitch-perfect digital replica of a human or a distorted AI-generated portrait. The slight deviations from normalcy trigger the same response. Research into the Uncanny Valley has shown that our discomfort is rooted in a fundamental aspect of human psychology. Studies have demonstrated that people consistently react negatively to images that are almost human but not quite. This reaction is thought to stem from a combination of cognitive dissonance and evolutionary mechanisms designed to detect potential threats. Loab and the broader category of uncanny AI art challenge our perceptions and provoke strong emotional reactions. They remind us of the fine line between the familiar and the foreign, and how easily our sense of comfort can be disrupted by subtle deviations. In exploring these depths, we gain insight not just into the capabilities of AI, but also into our own minds. The art we find disturbing tells us much more about our psychological landscape as it does about the technology that created it. Thank you once again, guys, for joining me on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little deep dive into AI, from Loab to other disturbing imagery. Smash the like button. New videos every Thursday or Friday, depending on how long it takes to edit. I'll see you guys in the next one. Poop diddy scoop, a mice. For those of you who do not understand what a mice means, that's just a little Afrikaans that means a mouse. It's just a little inside joke between me and my nephew. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Poop diddy scoop. That's Kanye West. I'll see you guys next time.